what's up? So, with 2023 wrapping up, I thought it would be nice to talk a little bit about the music and the albums that came out this year. Some hits, some misses. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I tried to call myself making a little tier list ranking of like the top 10. I have it, but just know that it's not definitive, and especially 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 have been switching places for me for the past couple of months. So we gonna see. By the way, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hayes. Let's get right into this video. Alright, we can start off with the misses because I know y'all messy and I know that's what y'all here for. And fuck it, we can just start off with Pink Friday 2. Oh. And honestly, Pink Friday 2 was a little bit disappointing for me, but I think a lot of people saying that it's like horrible or like a bad album, y'all are dragging it. Y'all are dragging it real bad, like relax. I guess people were just wanting a little bit more than what it is that she gave us, and honestly, I'm kind of with them on that. If we can start off with the title, why is it called Pink Friday 2? Because I thought Roman Reloaded was Pink Friday 2. That's just it don't matter, I guess. I also just don't see what people are talking about when they say it doesn't sound like Pink Friday the original, because to me when I listened to it, it literally sounded kind of like a modern version of exactly what Pink Friday was, with like I saw like a bunch of different eras within Nicki. I saw Pink Friday, I saw Roman Reloaded, I saw the Pink Print. So I'm not really exactly sure where people aren't hearing that from. I think a big reason as to why a lot of people don't particularly care for this album is because she does a lot of singing in it, which me personally, I don't really mind Nicki singing as much as I feel like other people might. But I do think we need to understand that Nicki is not the best singer. And I think she also needs to understand that too. I will say she does a lot more singing than I would particularly care for. But I do think that in some cases in this album, I do think she does sound good. In fact, my favorite singing moment from her with this album was Pink Birthday. I actually really like that song. That's actually one of my top songs on this album. I think she sounds really good when she's not trying too hard to sing. I also just don't think that was the best opener, to be honest. I don't get the point of the sample. Like and this is what pisses me off about the first song. It's because lyrically it reminds me so much of the Pink Print, which is my favorite Nicki Minaj album. But it's like the lyrics I really like on that song, but it's just like the production and instrumentation, it just doesn't sound right. I don't know what the purpose of that song was on there. I don't get it. Like she was like playing damn near the whole song at one point, so I'm just like, this isn't the best use of a sample, to be honest. And it's a weird opener just in general. And that's also the thing. I feel like the instrumentation and whatnot of this album, not that it was like bad, it just feels like it's not distinct enough for me. It's like the beats sound very average. And there's so many songs that I feel like have missed potential. Like Everybody on the album was like one of my top 3 favorite songs on initial listen. But since going back to that song, I still really like it, but like it's gone down further on my list, to be honest. And I feel like Everybody should have had an Azealia Banks feature. Imagine, literally that, and then a second Nicki verse, actual verse, because she kind of just repeats the same section over and over again until the song ends. But also, girl, tell Aubrey to put down the patois. We sick of it. We are sick of it. Tell him to put it down. And honestly, one of the biggest missed opportunities for Pink Friday 2 for me was she's trying to go for the Pink Friday vibe without including the personas. Girl, like how are you gonna try and give us Pink Friday 2 without Roman, Martha? Like, we need Harajuku Barbie. Come on now, come on. It's been a while since we've really like actually seen them like fully realized within an album from Nicki. Like, we could have been given updates to how these personas, I'm sorry, I love characters, I love characterization, I love theater. Give me exaggeration. I'm craving that, especially within pop music. Like, Nicki allegedly killed off Martha, Roman's mother, so we could have had a Roman's Revenge. Imagine a Roman's Revenge part 2, where we get an update of Roman going on this like Kill Bill-esque revenge scheme of going to kill the people who killed his mother. Come on now. Concepts. I just feel like we're really in an era where we're kind of craving, especially within pop music, the personas, the characters, the drama, the theatrics, the campiness. We're missing campiness within this project, and I feel like that's one of the biggest missed opportunity for me, at least for me, with this project. Like, we're in Gag City, but I'm not gagging. Speaking of, the best thing to come out of Pink Friday 2 was Gag City. Yeah, but overall, this album really just didn't hit for me the way that I wanted it to. I want Nicki to rap like she needs to pay her rent again. That's what I'm wanting. Yeah, the best songs on Pink Friday are, in this order, is Bomb Bomb, Barbie Dangerous, Pink Birthday, Cowgirl, and Beep Beep. And I can't even give Beep Beep too much because it was an interlude. I don't particularly care for the remix. And moving right along to Scarlet. For me, Scarlet was just the biggest missed opportunity of an album for me in 2023. So many interesting concepts that she really didn't do as much with as I feel like Doja Cat can really come up with some interesting concepts and actually execute them. So I'm just kind of upset that this album didn't really, in this era in general, really didn't do it for me in the way that I was wanting it to. And the first thing I want to start off with is the Scarlet persona. I was so excited for the idea of a persona. Like I said, I've been wanting characters, personas, campiness back in pop music, and I just feel like the idea of like this horror themed villainess was such a cool idea. The idea of like the statues that she would like have around the city, of her like in that pose covered in blood, and like from what we saw of her in the Attention music video, I was just looking so. First of all, horror is my favorite genre, just that and fantasy, but that's my favorite genre in terms of really anything. So I love when horror visuals and ideas and concepts are used within, especially music, especially pop music, which is another reason why I really like the Billie Eilish aesthetic. And even the spider imagery of this project, and just overall, the thing that gets me is how Doja talked about this album, this project before it came out, because it's just like, she's just like, oh, we about to get into some real rap. Like, y'all thought that bubblegum pop shit, but y'all thought that was rap before? No, we about to get into some real shit. Oh, I'm about to pop. And we get the album, and it's like, from what she said, I was expecting some type of real hard beat. I was expecting, villainess. I'm expecting you to really get into it with maybe some horror themed beats and things like that. But even just taking what we got, because Doja, she would say, y'all don't really care about the music. So if I were to, all that aside, everything, because you can't really take Doja too seriously. Taking just the music in and of itself, I still think it's a missed opportunity of a project. And my thing is that I like the idea of this album more than I like the execution of it. Like, most of the songs in this project have this very old school hip-hop, lo-fi hip-hop kind of beat to it, which I really like. But if that's the vibe that you were going for, I feel like I would have done like more with that, Like, if we were going for the whole, what she was talking about, the horror, the Scarlet, the dark, like, oh, I'm about to get into some real shit, I would have done it a certain way, I definitely would have played more to the Scarlet persona 100%, and even had Scarlet like really rapping on this album, showing us who she is. I guess I was expecting like a Roman's Revenge monster kind of energy to this album, but we got nothing of the sort. Like, really get into that vibe, that energy, like that. like, oh, I could have even added rock. But even if we were to take what the actual sound of this project was for the most part, that kind of, I would have taken those, lo-fi, hip hop, old school kind of hip hop sounds, and I would have added more. I would have added, jazzy elements, like very jazzy instrumentals, very contemporary R&B. Like there's like taking what she said of what this album was supposed to give, there's so many things that you could have done with that concept that would have been better. Or if you were to even take what she gave us, there's still things that you could have done better with this project. And I'm just like, it's such a missed opportunity. And the biggest missed opportunity for me was Demons. That hard ass beat for those lyrics, that 1, 2, 3 ABC bullshit, what was that? Who are you and what are those? You are gross. Are you serious, girl? Really? Like, why do you have more aggression and anger towards your fans for calling out you dating a piece of shit and putting a on your shirt and wearing that? Why do you have more aggression for them rather than the album? We're losing recipes. We're losing recipes. And now this section isn't like a hit or a miss. This is a call to action. SZA, Scissor, Miss Solana. Where's Lana at?
Show me to me, please. Send it to me.
Watch she releases right before this video goes up.
Oh.
I love my girl so much, but she be so confused when she realizes that the fans actually like her and want to stream her music. I don't know. I get it, girl, but like, you have so many fans, like, please. I'm just very curious how this project is gonna be like. I don't know when she's gonna release it, because she said allegedly fall of 2023, which is over by now. Now she lied again. Miss Freckles. Anyways, we can get into the top albums for me, in my opinion. Top albums for me of this year. Also, keep in mind the genre and type of music that I listen to. I listen to a lot of R&B, alternative R&B, contemporary. I also like, I like different types of genres, but I guess it's my favorite. I've been really into like house beats and there's a lot of like music like that, so just be aware that, what my music taste is going forward. And the first album in 6th place that I wanted to talk about was Keshimine. I have been loving the vibes on this album like for the past like couple of months. It just feels so summery, it just feels so chill, To be honest, going in, just knowing Kaytranada's vibe, I was expecting more kind of music, which we did get a little bit of that, but not as much as I was expecting. But I'm not mad about it, Kaytranada and Amine are a really good combination, and I'm so glad that we got a full-length project for them rather than just, a collaboration or two. K and A is the best song on the album. Fight with Your Mother. I'll also take Rebuke. The next album in our number 5 spot is BB/Angels by Tinashe. I love this project and how spacey but so danceable it feels, and that's where I feel like I am, especially in 2023. I just feel like dancing, I feel I wanna move my body, like. And Miss Tinashe delivered. Of course she did, because she always does. My favorite album by her is still 333, but I'm loving her sound so much since she became independent. I love when artists have more control over their work because they know what they're doing. This is also what I mean when I say I love alt R&B. Tinashe and her team be on that production, I swear to God. I don't know what they have cooking up in that studio, but combined with Tinashe's vocals, it's just such a smooth sound that's just it just makes me want to bust a motherfucking groove, Now the best song on the album is Gravity, but I will accept Talk to Me Nice because that beat, bitch, that beat. But also Gravity is such a gorgeous sounding song. I love how beautiful and kind of ethereal it sounds. it's just so smooth. I love it so much. And the fourth album, it's number 4, right? The fourth album is Masego by Masego, obviously. The instrumentation of that man is top tier, but we already knew that. But I just want to reiterate that for this entire album, it's so smooth. Oh, I love it so much. I love the use of like live instrumentations plus like more modern like production beats in it. It has this feeling of like both old school and new school like combined, and it sounds so good. I think it makes me feel like a smooth fuck nigga with great charisma. And the thing about me, I love little elements within music that's like poetry or recordings or, you know, people talking or acting in general, like before or after a song. It just makes the album feel cohesive. It makes it feel alive, you know? There's a couple of moments in this album where he does that, and I'm just like, it immerses me into the project. And when I listen to an album, I want to be immersed. I want to listen all the way through. I want to be able to be immersed in the feeling and the energy and the world that you created. And I feel like Masego does this really, really good on this album. But yeah, overall, I just think this album has such a smooth, fun vibe to it. I love his vocals as always. The transitions between singing and like him singing and him rapping just tickles that part of my brain, you know? The best songs in the album are Say You Want Me, Two Side, Who Cares Anyways, and In Style. Yeah. The next album in our number 3 spot is What I Didn't Tell You by Coco Jones. And when I tell you, Miss Coco Jones got them vocals on her. I definitely think that this album is definitely one of the most vocally impressive, popular albums that came out this year. This album has a very traditional R&B kind of sound to it, which I do like. I do think I like more when like alternative R&B. I just like when artists are able to create, you know, these very interesting, unique or alternative sounds within the R&B genre. But don't get that twisted. I love this album so much. I'm loving her vocals, the melodic choices that she does through this project is like, I'm sorry, I feel a little bit unhinged today. Don't mind me. This project, especially ICU, reminds me very much of like that mid to like late 2000s / early 2010s style R&B. I love it so much. Like, oh my god, them vocals. Another project that incorporates like more traditional or like live instrumentation, at least in my mind from what I hear, and more modern kind of production. I think especially with Plan B, which is that bitch. Caliber is just so light and cunt. I gravitated towards that song the most on my initial listen, but Double Back and Plan B are right behind her. Don't even worry about it. I'm very excited to see what she does within her next projects. All right. Like I said in the beginning of this video, 3 and 4 kind of switch positions a little bit for me, but this top 2 was like so hard for me to place one above the other because if I'm being honest, I kind of love them both equally. But in our number 2 spots, we have Jaguar 2 by Victoria Monet. Now for a little context, I listened to Jaguar Part 1, and when I tell you that, along with Ungodly Hour, were my favorite albums of 2020, period, point blank. I played the hell out of Jaguar Part 1 literally on a daily basis, love. So I had been waiting for Part 2, and we finally got it. And let me fucking tell you something about Miss Monet's pen. Don't you ever disrespect her. The girlies be squawking on Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Be squawking on Twitter. All types of get. All this bullshit. Meanwhile, their faves, their favorite song from their faves were written by Miss Victoria Monet. Don't you ever play in her face. Don't you ever play in her face. Ever. This album has a very similar energy to the first part, but it just has this darker, grittier kind of energy to it, and I love that. I've been really into like the more dark, gritty kind of nightclub kind of energy from albums recently. I don't know what that is about me, because this is literally in my adult years the least amount that I've ever been out going to clubs and bars and shit. Like, I don't be doing that shit no more. But I don't know why I'm just in that energy right now. How Does It Make You Feel is the best song of 2023. I did not ask for your opinion. That is just facts. Look at the material. Listen to the material and tell me. You could be the judge of it, but y'all can't, because some of y'all be tasteless. So I really don't want to hear it actually. Cadillac and On My Mama be playing down in my car. It's something about those songs that just makes me wanna pimp slap the fuck out of somebody. It made me feel like a pimp named Slickback. Use of live instrumentation in this album is ridiculous. The production is so good. I love just music that sounds like this, but I think she did such a good job capturing this, like the energy of this album, and a lot of the older school kind of energy in this. It's just so good. And for all of you who got a ticket to see Miss Monet in 2023, I don't care if something good happened to you. It should have happened to me instead. But 2023 was also the year that I did the most to see Renaissance World Tour, so I was too impoverished. Yeah, the best songs in this album in no particular order: Smoke Reprise, Alright, Cadillac, A Pimp's Anthem, On My Mama, How Does It Make You Feel, Hollywood, and Goodbye. The fact that she had Earth, Wind, and Fire, are you fucking me? Oh my god, that's so iconic. Anyways, and here we are, finally to the top album of the year for me, in my opinion, is Raven by Kelela. Let me tell you something about this album. I'm so glad we're getting more and more music like this that just feels so fun, and it just feels like escapism. And back during the 2010s, especially like the mid to like late 2010s, music just felt so dreary. It felt so dark and heavy, and also just not fun, you know, which like that can be a vibe in and of itself, I guess, but it's just like, I'm just so glad that we're in this era where a lot more upbeat, you know, very dancey kind of songs are really making its way back into the mainstream. That's the type of music that artists want to make again, you know. Lots of music, and I love the fact that how Raven does it is that it's very but it's very chill. It's very chill in its sound. It's a very soft it's essential. You know, you gotta like, you feel me. And that's what I love about this album so much, because like, you know, obviously I can do the whole like real like, hey, you know, type of shit. But I love music that sounds like this, that's both chill and soft, yet danceable and fun. That, I think, is my bag, and I love music like that. It feels so light and fun, but also there's this like more like toned down, softer side to the album. But even with a couple of those songs, you still have like this very interesting beat choice that comes in towards like the later half of the song. And I just love, like I said, I love alternative sounds with an R&B, but I just feel like ooh, she really put her she really put her foot up in this album. I have legit listened to this album from like start to like whenever I get to my destination so many times, more times than I like to admit in my car during this year. It's crazy, especially the second half of this year, because this album, while feeling very upbeat and fun, it also feels very wintry. It feels very autumny. It does have like that darker kind of tone to it, but not in the way of like, you know, like mid to early 2010s, you know. It has that, but it also just has this air of just being free, you know. There's just something about the beat and the lyrics and the vocals that just makes you wanna. I be having to check myself whenever I'm driving, because I'm just like, can't do too much. The amount of times that I could have potentially, you know, because of this album, it's ridiculous. But I also love playing this album whenever I'm going out to a nightclub, bar, whatever, which, like I said, I don't do that as often this year as much as I did the previous couple of years, but still do. And the best songs in this album are Happy Ending, On the Run, Missed Call, Contact, Closure, Raven, Sorbet, and Enough for Love. Enough for Love snuck up on me because I don't know why I didn't have that song favorited at first. But I checked myself when I went to go back to listen to this album all the way through again, and I said, you know, why was this not in my favorites already? Anyway, but yes, we have finally come to the conclusion of this video and my ranking. I'm very excited to see where music in 2024 is going to give us, because I feel like a lot of more artists have been getting more into like the bop. Like let's start making bops again. Like, let's have fun, you know, which I'm very excited for. I'm very interested to see, because a house is very popular. And we can credit the Quill community, obviously, but like in terms of like the general public and like other celebrities, like all like mainstream celebrities, like really like starting to get into that house ballroom sample kind of bag. We can kind of thank Renaissance a little bit for that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your guys' top albums of this year has been, and in the comment section down below, and also just any type of other like whatever music genres you guys listen to. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye.